I'm Fredrik Leilani, and I'm the filmmaker.
And I'm Leilani Farha, and I'm the advocate.
Hello, advocates. This is Pushback Talk, and this is our, the way of us keeping alive, putting words to each other, and we call it word food.
Food.
Let's play with words, Leilani. Leilani.
Fredrik.
Are you ready? I will give you 2 words, but they are combined.
Okay.
Big tech.
Oh. Big tech. Big tech and big bros, the bros. As a matter of fact, Zuckerberg has been on trial, hasn't he, as of yesterday, around whether his platform, in particular Instagram, was designed to be addictive. Some young people are bringing him to court in the United States to challenge his Instagram platform as being bad for human beings, in particular human beings, young people, young women, and I assume it also involves people of diverse gender identities. And interesting to me, very interesting to me. Of course it's addictive. It's interesting to me to determine whether it's intended to be addictive. Why wouldn't it be? Why is it that all the big tech bros don't let their children use the social media platforms that they've invested in?
Oh, they don't?
And created. No, they don't. Yeah. Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. There was this woman from, was it Facebook? Well, she did a tell-all, and she was on these circuits talking to Congress, but also went to the European Union. I can't remember her name, but just talking about how awful these platforms are for human well-being, and that the companies know it and profit from it. And one of the things I think she revealed was that the bros don't let their kids use these platforms. And look at what's happening in Australia, right? Where the government has banned certain platforms, access for young people.
Happened also in Denmark. It's
And in Denmark too, yeah.
I think when I put up the big tech word, is that the big tech were for a very long time selling themselves as, we're going to save the world. We're going to make it. They were like such a pink, beautiful message around, and we connect the world. We bring everybody together, community, love, peace. And it in many ways it worked for a while. We were connecting, and we still connect with a lot of people around the world with social media. There is still a beautiful part of it. But it's interesting how they have now shown their faces. All of them are coming out as the most horrible people on the planet. Sitting there supporting Trump, sending in equipment to help ICE. They're horrible. But it's also that more and more people are making the same conclusions as we do. As nobody thinks that the big tech guys are saving the world. No. We don't believe in you any longer, and nobody does. I mean, you can over here in Europe. It's a big debate in many countries now. How do we legislate? How do we protect ourselves? From these giants, the tech guys.
Yeah, I think of recently learning more about this Palantir company, which I think is part of this big tech.
Yeah, that's Peter Thiel. He's part of that, I think, yeah. Everyone
knows how, as you said, everyone is reacting the same to Palantir in particular. They make, that, I don't know if it's popular in Sweden, these rings that people wear.
And to pay with and so on, yeah.
Yeah, it's like biodata that you get. And that data is going to Palantir. I mean, it's just remarkable to me, the insidiousness. It's like infiltrating everywhere. How to manage big tech in this world That is actually beyond me. I myself feel certain addictive tendencies with some of the platforms. I can see all the censorship. Everyone knows the censorship, the algorithms, et cetera, and how to just, I don't know. I don't know how to manage all of that in my own life. I mean, I have timers now, and I'm not on social media the way I used to be, but part of that's because I'm writing the book, but also part of it was just observing myself, like, oh, you're reaching for your phone all the time.
I'm totally an addict still. I try to spend more time on Blue Sky than on X. Facebook is less interesting, but and I can sit and scroll stories on Instagram forever. And of course, it depends what you look for. I mean, I've been having a lot coming in from the Super Bowl Bad Bunny stories, a lot of sweet stories, and then I get all the late shows coming up. You know, it depends what you listen to. And of course, a lot of the ICE raids has been out there, you know, so a lot of important information between citizens are also happening there.
I've been subscribing to watching a lot of dance videos, so now I get a lot of lovely dance on my Instagram feed, which is the antidote to a lot of the other stuff that I get. I get mostly Palestine stuff at this point, and a lot of really interesting housing stuff coming out. Actually, that stuff even though it completely challenges the system, right? All of the critiques around financialized housing and the big corporate landlords and et cetera, the whole model and it still manages to get through the algorithm. So that's something.
And I'm not totally in favor of just closing down all the social media, because I love to be able to follow the conversations that happens in Chile or in Canada or in South Africa or in Malaysia or, you know, wherever. You know, I think it's interesting for me to get that flow. It's like barefoot journalism in some way happening. And from Palestine, totally. So it gives me a way a more unfiltered way of having a sense on what's cooking on the planet. So if you follow the right people, it's interesting. But the big tech are people profiting from this, and they are also profiting from right-wing agendas, and that's kind of problematic. So for that, I think we need regulation. We need laws. And that's why these guys are hanging out with Trump now, because Trump, you know, wants to support them fighting the European and Australian and other legislators. So we need to support our own legislators also in this, that they still dare to take on these American giants.
Yeah. And I mean, I think part of I agree with you about regulation. Part of where they get so much of their money isn't from us end users. It's from the states that are hiring them to infiltrate, the weapon companies, et cetera, right? So I haven't thought that through until now, but when you think about it, their positioning is, it will be difficult for governments to regulate them because governments are benefiting from their services. So.
That's true. But I mean, I can feel now over here in Europe and maybe also in Canada, there are not coming up, go and look for your non-American alternatives on, you know, you don't need to have Microsoft. You can have something else. Or, for example, in my search engine, I could recommend everybody to use a search engine called Ecosia, ECOSIA. And they donate they plant trees in Africa. They do a lot of stuff. And it gives you the same service, but it's based maybe in Germany. So you can, by trying just to change your habit a little bit, you can take a small fight against the tech bros. So I think we should try to go there more. And I'm trying to see what we can do in our company, because we're also stuck in all these American platforms.
Yes, I know.
But I also saw now the UK government is now looking into to find a new payment system to step out of Visa and the credit card companies, because they're all controlling us also and making money out of our money.
Crazy.
Which is like it's again somebody who is not really giving us anything more than a practical way of paying bills.
Yeah, with huge interest rates.
Yeah. So independence can be found in many ways. And I think the tech bros should be challenged because they're shown their real faces now.
I was super happy with that company Upscrolled. A lot of people migrated from Twitter to Upscrolled and from Instagram to Upscrolled. It's Palestinian owned. And I mean, in fact, it's broken down a couple of times because so many people were subscribing all at once. But it shows you, it's people moving from TikTok to Upscrolled, I think. Because of course, TikTok is now owned by that American. Is it Peter Thiel that owns TikTok now? I don't know. One of these terrible people. But I think it's great. And I like that. I like that feeling of people power when, it's like, well, we can just go over here. There's something else. The other thing I just want to say about social media is there's this idea that you should put down your phone and go and, protest or put down your phone and challenge, that if we're going to make change, we have to put down our phones. And I actually am resisting that to some degree because of what you said, which is, one, we get a lot of information from other places and spaces through our social media. But also, I think it's deeply political and people are using it in very political and very strategic ways and breaking the algorithms. Palestine as a cause is as big as it is in part because of the availability of information through social media.
Yes.
The on-the-ground live streaming of a genocide. And so I think we need to protest with our phones. I don't want to just throw it all away.
No.
I don't think we can just throw it all away because it can be incredibly powerful.
And we need to keep talking to each other. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
But it would be good if we could find ways of not always sending more money into the tech bros accounts.
Yeah.
Difficult, though.
Yes.
So that was the big tech. What are you hitting me with, my friend?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Very good question. The word I have for you is resilience.
Resilience, which is like one of these English words that I'm a little bit hard to see. What does it exactly mean? How do I translate it? But it is kind of resistance, standing up, being consistent in something. But you should maybe explain it for me.
What resilience means?
Yeah.
Simple. If you're knocked down and you get up, you show some resilience.
Yeah, and I think that's resilience is what the people who in the end make it have. And I'm not talking about making it as an entrepreneur. I'm talking about struggles. And resilience today can have an impact 50 years from now. We should always remember that we do today lives on. People have this kind of, you lost the referendum in Chile, you lost the presidential election, Trump became president again, and everything is lost. Everything we did before is lost. But it's not. You know what? Resistance and movements that are resilient, they will have impact over time because you inspire new generations. And even if you burn out, you still have inspired someone else. And I think resilience is important in a way that we maybe we don't have to be as strong every day. We're allowed to have our down days, or to be depressed or feeling that it's too much, but we still have that little burn that, okay, we're not giving up. So when I feel tired, I can at least, support the people who are trying to do something.
Yeah.
This kind of, okay, I'm tired today, but I'm really happy for what you are doing. That's, that we talked about Greta the other day, it's like, okay, you can't be Greta maybe every day, but you can cheer for Greta. And I think that's important, and Greta is really a resilient person, and I think we should admire it and accept that we can't have it every day, but that we should have it over time. And you are a person, Leilani, that are resilient over time. You are always, I mean, you're quite often tired and stressed, but you keep going. You keep going because you have a passion and you have, you know, the fire to keep going. And I think, and that's why we also like each other, because I think we both have this kind of, we want to do something, and we are not always efficient, and, you know, we're not always amazing, but
Definitely not.
but we try, and I think it's worth a lot. So
I think I've come to realize about what you're saying, like you can't do it every day, you know. You don't always show resilience. I've come to realize that the down days and the quiet days and the depressed days and the overwhelmed days are as important as the days when you get back up and say, fuck this, you know, this is wrong. I think it's how I restore my energy. I recalibrate. I stop to smell the roses, so to speak, and am reminded of beauty and light and goodness, and that then enables me to have a little resilience. But it's like I have to I mean, the world is pretty difficult place right now, and it is hard to wake up every morning and be okay. Let's go, go.
Sometimes you criticize, you know, people for, you know, you love to drink wine, you love, you know, you only party, you only go to concerts or arts. Yes, we need great wines, we need
absolutely
good food, we need a lot of friends around the table laughing and telling stories. That's also resilience, you know. It's
absolutely.
Also to stay human, you know, is to be resilient.
Oh, that's so nice.
So I think we should cherish that and not feel ashamed of that, you know. Okay, I love to spend an hour in the sun watching the clouds fly by, you know. I think we should support each other when we are, you know, down there. And then, of course, we should also support the people who are out taking to the streets and doing. But I think that there sometimes with people who are struggle too hard, that can sometimes come some kind of bitterness, which is very easy to understand. But it's not a beautiful part of resistance, you know, that bitter side. So I think we should help each other out of that emotions. And try to people who are showing the bitter face, to help them to laugh sometimes, you know, and to feel the joy of resistance. And that's why I love the Bad Bunny halftime show, because it was resistance.
Yeah.
It was fun, and it was full of beautiful stories and these stories that continue. And it's like, it's about this little club in Brooklyn, you know, where the Puerto Rican baseball people hang out with this lady who is now 85. That little story, that little social club is a place of both resilience and resistance. And that there's a beauty in that. And we don't need to wave the big flags all the time. You know, we can also wave the small flags. And that's also, you know, to build community. That helps people to stay resilient.
I like that. But I really like what you said. To stay human is resilience. To stay human. Nice. I will say this. At the top, I said that Peter Thiel owns TikTok, but it's Larry Ellison, not Peter Thiel.
And I should, before we leave, I just saw a film, documentary called Yalla Parkour. Which is set in Gaza.
Yes.
So it's actually Gaza before October 7th. So you come to Gaza where people live in real homes and there are a lot of standing structures that the kids jump from. It will have its theatrical release in Sweden now, but it will also come to the US and Canada soon for cinemas.
Fantastic.
I think, look out for it. Jalla Parkour. Beautiful film. It's actually produced here in Malmo.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so I met the main character he now lives in Sweden, but he was in Gaza for a long time. So it's a story about Gaza, but it's full of joy, playful people.
Yes. Well, the term resilience, which we were talking about, of course, is always ascribed to Palestinians in light of the 60 years more of oppression and their ability to keep on. But where I see resilience in Palestinians is in other ways, not just in fighting for their land, but right now, for example, it's Ramadan and just started. And in amidst the rubble, they're setting up their long iftar tables, like to have the meal at the end of when the sun sets. And bringing community together, that is resilience.
Of course it is,
and continuing with their faith, insofar as not everyone in Palestine is Muslim, but for the majority, it's pretty lovely.
It is.
It's a kind of resilience.
And resistance. Thank you, my dear. So now you have to go and write your book.
Last chapter.
Write your book.
Write the book.
Sweet. Thank you, Leilani. And
thanks, Fredrik.
Love to swap words with you.
Likewise.
Word food.
It's all about word food for now. Bye.
Good luck with your book. Bye. And to friends, if you want to support the podcast, send us some money on Patreon. It's not bad. Patreon.com, Pushback Talks. See you.
See you.
Pushback Talks is produced by WG Film. To support the podcast, become a patron by going to patreon.com/pushbacktalks. Follow us on social media at make_the_shift and push_the_film. Or check out our websites, maketheshift.org, pushthefilm.com, or breakingsocialfilm.com.